Hi, everybody, and thanks once again for joining us. Thank you, Julie, for putting the conversations in the back lobby on lockdown. I love it. We're wrapping up today, this afternoon, this portion with a segment that gets me really excited. I hope brings some new insights to you as well. Armand here is VP of AI for watsonx at IBM. As you heard from Julie, and you might have seen, we just entered into a really exciting partner agreement with IBM, which is extending the reach of AI to enterprise. And as we were just talking backstage, making enterprise AI cool. So we're going to hear a little bit about that and about what that means. But Armand, I want to welcome you again, but please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the role at IBM and for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Andy. I'm super excited to be here at Supernova. Very big event, the largest I heard to date. So,
right.
To introduce myself, I started working in AI 14 years ago when IBM announced IBM Watson. Last week was 14 years since we had that showcase of Watson, and it's been an unbelievable career that I had at IBM. Right now I'm leading AI platform. So we rebranded Watson platform to watsonx for the Gen AI era, for agentic era, and I'm responsible of the products that we deliver to our enterprise customers. Many of the most critical IT systems in the world are running on IBM, and the most critical AI systems in the world will continue to run on IBM. So I lead a team of 400 plus engineers and 60 plus PMs that are delivering all these capabilities to all our customers around the world. So last week we had our flagship event of the year. It's called IBM Think in Boston. We had a lot of announcements. One of the announcements I'm the most excited about was the partnership that we announced with Cerebras, and I can talk about it now.
Yeah. Man, that's cool. I can't believe it was 14 years ago. I think for many of us, that was sort of a formational and inspirational moment, seeing the potential of AI with Watson. And that team, the capabilities, the resources you have, that's what really, I think, brings AI out at that global economic scale. So although we're all familiar with Watson, the watsonx platform and the model gateway, I wonder if you can share with us a little bit about like what the X is, what's watsonx, and tell the audience a little bit about the model gateway.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy journey. Since we saw the Watson capabilities 10 plus years ago until now, it's been like lots of ups and downs, AI winters. We made a lot of mistakes. But finally, I think we are in the best spot in the market right now because our customers, they are approaching AI, our enterprise customers, they are approaching AI demanding flexibility. So they are not marrying one single AI provider. They are not marrying one AI cloud provider. They want choice. It's a must-have. So if you follow what we've done over the last 5, 6 years, we went really big into this concept of hybrid cloud. We acquired Red Hat. We made all our software compatible with OpenShift, so we can deploy it in any cloud, on-prem, anywhere. We see in AI exactly the same. Our customers want that flexibility. For some use cases, they want this model with this provider. For other use cases, they want something completely different. For many enterprise use cases, they want pure on-prem use cases. So in order to do that, we do have our own full integrated stack in IBM Cloud, but we announced a model gateway, which is a concept that is well known in the industry. So this is allowing us to connect anywhere. And we have premium certified partners that are fully integrated with our model gateway. Cerebras is one of them, so you can tap into Cerebras Cloud or any Cerebras AI infrastructure, AI factory that is running anywhere. And that provides developers in the enterprise a single API layer to access Cerebras models.
Man, there's a lot to unpack there. And I really want to come back. We're going to put a pin. We're going to come back, I think, to this question about hybrid cloud and private, because I think, as many of you know, there's a bit of a landscape shift in where AI computing is done and how enterprises are consuming it. We're going to come back to that. But I think the other thing that you mentioned was, look, you got this extraordinary enterprise reach, right? Portfolio of forward-leaning enterprise customers. On the back end, you've got this model gateway, right? Like a portfolio of models and providers they can choose from. So from a strategic standpoint, what made now the right time to think about a partnership with Cerebras?
I mean, it's basically very organic. It's customers asking for it. Our customers are coming with crazy use cases. We saw some of them here. I mean, I was blown away with what Mayo Clinic was showcasing here. We work with healthcare, with cybersecurity, fraud detection in banking, in FSS. So they are coming with more and more and more use cases where latency is a must-have, and this is unlocking a whole new set of use cases. So yeah, it was very organic. We were looking at solutions in the market, and it was just kind of perfect timing. It happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, I got to be honest. I love that customers are asking for it. Right. That resonates, I think, with our fundamental hypothesis. Let's click down one more step into that and talk about why speed matters. Right. And for context, right, Armand was out in the audience, like watching the other talk, so you know exactly what people are building. But where do you see the biggest value for your customers in this like low latency, ultra fast response space? Where do you see it now? Where do you see it going?
I see it in two major themes. Like the first one is AI agents. I know everyone is talking about agents. I really like this whole concept of like multi-agent systems, where actually part of the announcements that we had last week was an orchestration layer to manage a lot of agents. So we'll have a lot of agents all working in parallel, all doing thinking and reasoning and deep research. So latency is going to be very, very critical to orchestrate all that agentic mess that is coming to us. So that's number one. The other one that I'm very excited is just what we had in the previous one is multimodality, starting with voice. We are getting more and more and more customers that they want voice, and in order to do voice, latency is a must-have. And the fact that you can run the latest, most advanced open source models like Llama 4, we're also big partners of Meta. So I really like the IBM, Cerebras, and Meta partnership. All of us working together is making it really possible, right? Like you can get state-of-the-art models, multi-models, and run them with the best AI infrastructure in the market, and we bring that with all our enterprise knowledge. It's a very nice combination.
Yeah, you know, it's actually really cool that you mentioned voice, because I think a lot of us think about voice interactions, and first of all, the low latency benefit is obvious, right? I just paused as I was speaking, and like you can sense the latency gap. But I think so many of us think about voice as something that consumers want, right? But it's interesting. It's an interesting observation, actually, that enterprises want it too. Yeah, I wonder if you could say a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, one of our, I would say maybe the most popular Watson product is called Watson Assistant. So a lot of the chatbots that you loved and hated in the last decade were running on Watson, but those were really rule-based, very basic NLP capabilities. Those are all shifting into LLMs, very advanced LLMs, and many of those are now providing real-time voice. And I mean, the latency was a very critical requirement. Another one that I'm very excited about with low latency is physical AI. So we're getting into, again, it's just going to unlock a lot of use cases. Or we are running things, as you know, IBM is very popular on mainframe, running things on like super high speed, fraud detection, and things like that. Those need to happen at the millisecond level. And we were not able to use the latest LLMs for some of those use cases because they were too slow. So right now we're going to open the doors to all these transformers on all these new use cases for this kind of fraud detection, cybersecurity use cases.
Yeah. Man, okay, so for the record, we're riffing a little bit here. Like it's a fun conversation. I think it's genuinely interesting. This, you brought up some like the fraud detection use cases. I also love the fact that you brought up physical AI. But those are cases where I think customers might want or need their compute to be isolated because maybe it's at a facility or maybe operating on sensitive proprietary or confidential data. So this is the callback now to what we put the pin in before, which is where do you see the balance going from cloud to hybrid cloud to private deployment? How do you guys see that landscape shifting?
Yeah, I mean, I would say all of big enterprise customers are building their own AI infrastructure. So they are obviously working with multiple hyperscalers, but they are also building their own AI infrastructure in-house. So
wasn't that way just a few years ago, was it?
It wasn't that way a few years ago, and it's becoming very obvious. They want to. So there are two important things. First, they are sitting on a lot of important IP with their own data. Yeah. So the fact that you are also not only providing fast inference, but also a lot of capabilities to do fast training, they really want to mix their data with LLMs and showcase different use cases and leverage that. So they really care about security, running things in-house, keeping the models in their own infra. So yeah, it's becoming a must-have. So mixing that, like leveraging their data and running in secure environments is super critical.
Yeah. Yeah, I think back to our conversation before in the ready room about like sort of the cool thing about doing work with world-changing enterprise is the reach and the impact that you can achieve, right? It's also incredible, this developer reach that we have with people building small apps for isolated communities and doing interesting stuff in retail and the consumer space. But the cool thing about enterprise is that reach, and I know we both like feel that, and that's what we're building for. Coming back to the Cerebras partnership, what gets you most excited about that? Like, I think having the high-speed, low-latency compute in the middle of all this stuff is important, but I'm curious what gets you excited about it.
So first of all, the overall experience, I mean, if you check on LinkedIn about the announcement that we made, we're making it that simple. So when you come to the platform, if you want to run the models or tune models or call in the models with Cerebras, is that simple. And I think that with that we had a lot of ideas to run hackathons to see what people will build, because I don't think we can even imagine what is going to be the art of the possible here. Yeah. We want to make this available to as many developers as possible in the enterprise. I like what you said behind the scenes, like let's make enterprise cool again. I think all of us that we work in big organizations, there is a lot of repeatable work that can be optimized and with agentic architectures, and just providing also like a single API layer. So it doesn't matter if you're running things on your laptop, then when you want to scale them into more faster system with Cerebras is just changing the endpoint. You don't need to change the application. You don't need to change the APIs or the SDKs. That makes me really excited. Before, to tap into this kind of new infrastructure, you needed to change a lot of components of the architecture and the application, and we're making that extremely simple. So I think it is going to tap and unleash developers to create a lot.
You know, it's funny, right? Because that's actually one of the things that's so challenging and interesting and sometimes difficult about enterprise product design. It's like you said, you have to figure out what pain point you're addressing and how to fit something seamlessly into that workflow that has a very low barrier of entry. I feel you on that. So maybe since we're running close to time, I'll just say that you got an incredible audience. You have some developer builders, you have some investors, you have a lot of folks that are working in large enterprise. What's the sort of one piece of advice or call to action that you would issue to the audience today from IBM?
Yeah, I think in many cases IBM is not getting enough noise in the market, And those that are actually paying attention, they are always surprised by the breadth of capabilities and how many people like how much knowledge we have in this AI space. We have consulting in-house as well. So they've been requesting Cerebras partnership because they are coming with all these very cool use cases and low latency requirements. So yeah, the call to action here is pay attention to what we're doing. Or some of the announcements that we made last week are extremely good. And just go try the model gateway. The model gateway is in beta and is gonna come GA in June. And I think we're gonna plan some events together, hackathons, and ways to see what developers can build.
Yeah, I think we just agreed backstage with Julie that we were going to go do some really cool developer events. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I think, well, first of all, it's incredible what these guys are doing, what you and your team are doing. Thank you for joining us, and I'll just reiterate that call to action. If you're an enterprise builder, the model gateway, the watsonx platform, of course, especially with ultra-low latency inference from Cerebras, check it out. And they're going to make it incredibly easy to use so you can push the business forward. Armand, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.